Yeah, you people should really take heart.
The Okoyas were a happy family, but suddenly death struck, snatching away the mother of the home, leaving Mr. Okoya, Remy, and Dayo lonely and heartbroken.
Grace.
You need a woman in your life.
3 years later, against his personal opinion, Mr. Okoya was persuaded by his children to remarry.
Now, you haven't been psychologically okay.
Yeah, that is true. You see that? You know you love mom. You don't love her also.
Yeah, we love her.
And we cannot do the past. It's past already, Dad. Just come on. She love Dad.
And also, we all know that mom wouldn't have been happy for you to leave us as orphans like this.
Okay.
We need a mother.
Okay. Oh, you mean that you are ready?
Mr. Okoya finally concurred to his children's demand and remarried Lady Tina after the death of his wife.
I call them your heartbeat.
Sure, they are.
Really?
Of course.
Okay. Okoya!
Little did he know what was in store for him.
It's for.
It is only my voice that will be heard in this house, and no other person's voice.
With Lady Tina getting a strong hold on Mr. Okoya, she became a clog in the wheel between father and children.
Dad.
Yes.
I'm worried though.
About what?
Our monthly allowance now. I've not been paid. For how many months now?
Look. You guys are adults now. And it's high time you start learning how to make your own money.
Oh, Dad, what about the other academic bills we told you about?
Okay? From henceforth, I'm making a rule in this house.
Rule?
Yes. Any request you have, pass through your mom.
Are you serious?
Even in free time, there's no free lunch. Honey,
Yeah?
please, I want to have a word with you.
Okay.
This is becoming really serious. The protocols are increasing by the day. What do we do?
I urgently need to pay for my result verification exercise. Otherwise, all my school thing will just go like a flash. You know what that means now?
I know. How I wish Dad had sent us the money earlier.
God.
I only have 1,000 naira in my account.
The freedom of love in the Okoya's house is deteriorating. The gulf of hatred is widening and leaving the children wondering what has become of their father.
Things around here have really changed. God, what are we going to do? How I wish Mom was around. Wherever you are, let's push yours.
Hello there, welcome to another episode of Decisions. My name is Bishop Yogene, your host. On today's episode, our topic is Barricade, and it borders around bringing a new addition into a family, you know, an additional spouse, like a new mom, a new dad, wife, husband, when the last one probably was lost to death or any other thing. And I have two guests to help me on today's deliberation. Just to my left here is Reverend Ezekiel Peji. He's the senior pastor of Church God Mission International, Jeddo District Headquarters. It's good to have you on set, sir.
Thank you.
And on my far left is Deaconess Deborah Olorunda. She's a nurse and a midwife, and she's also a minister with the Redeemed Christian Church of God. Welcome, ma'am. Always a pleasure to have you on set. Okay, so down to what we're going to be talking about. Should having a new wife or a new husband after you lose your former one? Should it come from a place of persuasion? Because people are saying, should that be where it comes from?
That should not actually be a basis, but you can maybe reason with them, and maybe if you see that they have points and you think that point will help you, you can go with that. But if you are not persuaded, maybe you have your own conviction and you think you shouldn't, then don't do it.
So how do you advise someone in that place to manage, especially with children, like a husband without a wife or a wife without a husband?
Well, there are always there's always a solution to every problem. If he, as a man in this situation, decides that this is what he wants to do, he's not going to remarry, then as the children are trying to persuade him to remarry, he will call them and sit down. Okay, now this is the reason why I don't want to remarry. This is the reason. If the woman comes in, the woman is coming in as my wife, yes, but she's supposed to be a mother to you. What if she turns out in the other way? What happens? So he needs to reason with them, and then they, as the children, will not see reason. Once in a while, there's no way they will not bring it up again, but the reason will overcome the...
Okay, yes. Okay, Reverend Kweje, at what point do you think someone should be married when they lose their spouse? Like, what point can they say that, okay, it's time to be married?
Well, when it's necessary. Like Abraham did when Sarah died. He married Keturah, and there was no problem anyway. The only thing is that the need will drive you to, and you do the needful. There are people who will not bother much to get married because they have the children already, and they want to give themselves to the service of God somehow. And such people, the Bible even says that they should remain unmarried. The Bible also recommended that the widows and the widower should get married to avoid anything that is unclean happening to them, like going into promiscuity.
Sexual sin.
Yeah. So, and also it helps to keep you in order and gives you some kind of respect. At any age, because even Abraham was 120 something when he got married to Keturah. So it's necessary. When you are young, it's necessary. When you are old, it's necessary because you need somebody. Two is better than one, the Bible says so. Loneliness can even kill someone who is somebody who likes to have companionship with somebody. Life, and like to share his intelligence and his love with someone. If that is absent, you will find that person leaving this world earlier.
Yeah.
Or to be so much uncomfortable for him to leave.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Lomida, how do you ensure a safe transmission when you've now decided to get a new spouse? Because I think that's the place that people don't really understand, especially around here. Maybe abroad, they are more educated or enlightened. But around here, the average man just, okay, my wife is dead now. 5 years after, I need a new wife. And okay, boom, we're going to marry. And the children just have to cope with a new mother. Or even a wife, and has just been with the kids, and all of a sudden there's a man wanting to marry her. They don't call the person that is mommy's husband. When the first person is mommy's friend, then all of a sudden there's a daddy in the house. So what do you think are necessary steps for you to ensure a safe transmission into a new spouse in the house?
The first thing is talk. You just keep talking. Communication is key. Like the man has to talk to the children. Okay, we've agreed that a woman should come in. He should also bring in the children into the decision of the woman. Like, okay, I've decided to marry a wife. What do you guys think about it? Okay, this is the woman. Like now you've decided, and the man will decide who he wants to marry. He will now say, okay, my children, it is this woman that I want to marry. What do you people think about it?
Okay. But would that not give the children a certain feeling of, oh, we help dad pick his wife so we can decide what goes on here?
No, he decided. It's not him. except they are the ones that suggested the woman to him. If they are the ones that say, daddy, is this woman that wants to be our mother? Otherwise, if it's the man that brought it, I think he should still tell them that this is it. He might even tell them before he even talks to the woman, but that this is the person I want to marry.
Okay. Right.
So they now consider it and say, okay, daddy, we think, because once the woman comes in, he also needs to let them know that she will now become his wife, that they will have to, everybody else will now have his own place. Yes, that they will have to give her, respect and regard as his wife, and that two of them will now be making decisions concerning them. It's not them alone. So it's going to be that's because without communication, a lot of things will go wrong.
Okay. How do we ensure safe transmission into bringing the new spouse into the family?
See, the truth is that the children don't know anything about marriage yet. They are immature, so they don't know the implications. All they need is a mother, if at all. But you should know that these children are not meant to be in your house forever. Very soon, they will graduate out of your house. Because the children are meant to be around your table. While the wife is a permanent tree or vine planted in your compound. So, but the children are table. Like us now, all our children are married now. Only one remaining. Just remaining myself and my wife. So the issue of marriage is just you and your wife. You have to conclude, for me, you have to conclude everything. See the woman you love, decide it yourself, conclude with her. But make her know that she's coming into a home, that there are children. After that, you must settle the matter with, can two work together, except they agree. So you must agree to certain principles, certain ordinances, also on the God you serve, and then also she's coming in to meet not a home, or she's not the wife of your youth. She should know that she has somebody to take on board as children. That if you love me, you must love my children. You must even love my pussy cats and my dogs. That's the truth. When I see some people say, you love me, Reverend Akweja, I love you, and you see my wife, you can't even love her, you don't love my children, you don't love the things I have. You are not. Even my car, you should love it. Why is this car here? So you must make that woman come to the point where, or you see in that woman, that she loves everything about you. Real love. Then before you bring it in, bring her in. All right? And then after finishing the woman, you pass to the other side. Bring the children, and her children want to have a new mother. She's lovely, she's good, she's sweet. Even if she's bitter, she's sweet. Because people tell you, sweet bitter leaf, you don't answer. So you say she's lovely, she's sweet, this. Then while you are living, day by day, one day at a time, you must begin to teach them and bring them together. Because the man is the train that will train them up. Both the children and his wife. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. On the flip side of it, you can know that while the man or the spouse that has the children, while he's taking care of both sides,
yes,
the person that's coming in also, I think that he or she also has some work to do. So how do you people that are going to be getting married to single parents, how do you prepare your own self, for the fact that you're getting married to someone that has children, especially grown-up children or even teenagers? What are the things that you think you can do, in order to get yourself into the family?
For the spouse coming in, it's just the way you will get married to any other a man or a man getting married to. You just prepare yourself that you are going into a home, and since the man has children, you have to tell yourself that you are going to take those children as your own children. Because for you to have accepted to marry the man, you knew that he had children already. So it's for you to prepare. If you even have to get classes on how to handle teenagers or young youths, go ahead and take classes, so that when you get married, you get in there, when you start seeing behaviors, you should know how to manage those behaviors, so that you can be peaceful and have a good relationship both with the husband and with the children.
Yeah, because she's going into something that's not ideal. The ideal home is one man, one wife, one
That's
child.
everything.
She's going to something that is odd a little bit. So she has to seek counsel. One from those who have gone into it. It's very versatile. Even if the man taking up a woman who has a child, you have to listen. You have to breast up yourself to meet with that situation. Learn about it, what you should do from people. And please don't take wrong advice from people who are youths, especially. Because that is how Rehoboam did. He sought this advice here. The elderly people gave advice to him. And then he went for the youth. The youth said, come on, give them your father's finger is little than this and that, which destroyed the kingdom. All about it is relationship. She should be told to relate. If you can relate well and take those children as your son and your daughters, you've won the whole family. Especially the girls, if you're a woman. All right? So the woman should try to accommodate. Because really, it's a tough task. I must say it. It's a very tough task to go into a home that you are not the main, if the foundation is being destroyed. What can this woman do? The foundation is already having a crack. She has to go and maintain the crack and see how she can fit in. Because she's not the right peg in the right hole. All right? So she has to rehabilitate, readjust. Everything is re this time. Receive them, rehabilitate their minds, make them see her as a mother and a mother indeed. But she goes there as to perform as a wife and wife alone, she has failed. Okay. Yeah, she must perform as a wife, as a mother, even as anything God makes her to. Thank you. Yeah, because they will test her.
So win,
We'll have to talk about that when we come back from the break. Please don't go anywhere. You're watching Decision. Welcome back to Decisions. Before we went on the break, Dickinson, you said something that I want us to just tackle very fast. You said she has to become all things to them and all of that. And I'm of the view if she becomes some things that she's not really is, just in a bit to win them over. What happens when she's now in the house and she's now showing who she really is? Not that who she really is wicked, but maybe she was overly nice, and you can't be overly nice with kids all the time. So doesn't that now make it look like, oh, she changed or thereabout?
No. Well, when you come in first, you don't put your own feet down. You came and met some rules and regulations. There are some things that, like now, they don't carry bucket from the kitchen to the bedroom, and in your house you carry bucket. There are some things you meet, you just maintain according to what they want, so that you can win them over, so that you can get their opinion on things. Then gradually you now begin to let them see a different way of life. It's going to be it's not a change. When you come in, you have to be the footmat. You have to be humble. You have to be humble for them to now, when they see that you really mean no harm, then they will relax. Then you can now start coming up and taking your place gradually. Okay,
Reverend, do you have anything to say to addition to what she just said?
Yeah, like we said, she's coming into something that she's not aware of. She needs to learn what is the normal
status quo
of the house, and then fit in. If you're not fitted in, you can't walk. You can't win them. You need to count things but lost. Your beauty, your stand, your social status. Lose them to win them. Once you win them, it's not going to be long. They'll be out of the house. And then you have the man totally to yourself. Okay. Or if you want to win the man totally to yourself, you will lose them. Because these people will be the brothers and sisters to your own children. They'll be the one to sponsor your children if you do well. The Bible says if you do well, then you are daughter, Sarah's daughter. But if you do not well, you failed. And once you fail, you're down. And once you're down, you'll be frustrated in the system.
Okay, so
Yes.
in trying to bring it down to the people that have this issue, now you're married, for example, and you probably did all of these things before, and then things just go out of hand, and as a wife or the husband that's newly married in is just totally out of control and all of that. So how can children deal with step parents that are, for lack of better word, wicked, or that don't reason the way they reason?
Okay. For children, the truth is, once one of your parents is dead, and the other one decides to remarry, the children should get ready to see anything. They should get ready to see anything. Anything can come up. So they need to prepare themselves. Well, we thank God these ones are a bit grown. So they should expect anything, and then they should try to accept the person as well. If the person is becoming wicked, if we watch this the video, we'll see that to some extent the man was loving the children more than the woman. So then the woman will start having some behaviors. The man should know how to play his role, and the children, they should know how to play their role as well. They should just realize that this woman, has come in as my mother and also as my father's wife. So she has to be in between. But if she can't manage in between, I now have to manage the situation.
Okay. So down to this particular scenario, so how best can this scenario be handled? Especially because it's not just normal mental manipulation. We now have it's not become diabolical. So how best do you think this situation can be handled?
And the children, from the point of the children have to seek God and ask God to breathe life into their home. And the Lord God will breathe into that home and make it a living home, number one. 2, they have to seek counsel from other people. Because they are children, they need to know how to treat this new thing. Let me call the word new thing that have come into their midst. And since she's not acting well, I say love is reciprocal. They have to love that woman. Some of them are ladies, I saw them, ladies. Tomorrow they'll be wives, and they need to love that woman. I don't think even a madman or a mad woman responds to love. He responds. I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, so you find that if you love the woman and wrap her with love, relatively, with peace, and all the gifts that God has given to you, or the nature, characteristics, if you love the woman, you'll find that the woman have no option. That even the man will be jealous. You said you are my wife, it seems as if you are on the children's side. Oh yes, because if you win the children, you win the man, absolutely. So the children should love that woman to a point that she will not understand herself any longer. Okay. She will respond positively. Okay. Yes.
What do you think would make people, go to the part of being diabolic in the first place? And how do you think? Because there are people out there that they already have in their mind that they're going to do something diabolic if they're in this kind of situation. So what do you have to say to them?
Okay, first of all, like I talked about before, one of the reasons the woman possibly could go diabolic is when she's in now, and then maybe the children are maltreating her, and then maybe the children are telling lies and the husband is believing. She'll say, this one, I can't handle it on my own, and she'll go out to get another source of power. That is one. And when she comes in too and she sees that there is space for her, maybe the man is wealthy and she could get rich from this man, she could go diabolic. Okay, but sorry, the second question.
How do you advise people, like in people that are already planning to do this? What you advise to them?
The truth is, you don't have to be diabolic. You don't have to. From all the advice we've given, the truth is, when you go in, you just submit to what is there and then gradually learn. When you do that, everything will work out for you, and so you don't need to be diabolic.
Okay,
You don't need to. You just
Yeah, I think God has the father and the children in his hand. The woman also should seek God in this issue. When God is in a matter, the issue is made solvable, or the issue is solved. You should allow God breathe life. I mean breathe life. Jesus, God breathed unto man, made him to be a living soul. Jesus gave breath to his disciple, made them a living disciple. So if you ask God's breath for your marriage, you find that the home will be a living home. So the woman, I advise them not to go to Egypt for help or for cancer, but to go to God, go up to Jerusalem to God for cancer. And what we have is that a living home will be formed. In fact, she will not regret that home if she applies God, life into that home, because God is life. So let the breath of God be upon that home. Right? She saw that the man is in love with the children. And so inferiority complex came in. And she sought counsel from someone, said, "Man, go and use jazz and get the man's heart." So she thought that will fail her. And it's already failing her. You understand? So, but God does not fail. The Lord will never fail her. All they need is God.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So this is pretty much all we can take right now. But I would like to ask for your final advice for any kind of everyone in this kind of situation in that region. So what do you have to say to them as
The
a last
man,
word?
the woman, the children, they should all ask of God's mercy. Because what is about happening is strange. It's not usual. It's something that, although it's common to men, but the Bible says in all these temptations that are common to men, you are supposed to pray, number one, about it. You are going to a home, you should pray. The man also accepting, you should pray. The children should pray. And if prayer is applied, they will have solution. They will have a smooth sail. All right? And if God is finally their source of help, love casteth out fear.
Yeah.
All right? So absolute love. The Bible says perfect love casteth out fear. So that's the best word of delivery. That's perfect love delivers you from fear. What is wrong with the woman and all of them? All of them are afraid. This new thing, I hope it's not going to fail. Oh, I don't know. So, but with love, it's soft. That's like.
Thank you, sir.
They should realize that even as siblings, even them, when their mom was still alive, I'm sure they had issues. Their mom will say this and they will say no. So we are bound to have issues with people. But how you manage it is what is important. So, like he said, love. If they decide that I will love this woman no matter what, regardless of her shortcomings, and then she decides I will manage them despite whatever issues they have, they need to, and then they need to communicate. Communication is very key too. As much as you love, if you don't communicate, they might not read different meanings.
Expectations might not be met.
Yes.
Right.
So,
well, thank you
But
very
that
much.
communication should be soft communication. Because there are different types of communication. If your communication is hard, it's going to make things hard. Yes, so soft answers. So yes, man. Okay, man. All right, man.
Thank you, ma. Thank you, sir. That's all we can take. But if you need to reach out to any of them personally or us at the studio, you need someone to talk to. Their social media pages are on the screen right now. Reach out to them. I'm sure they'll be glad to hear from you. We also will be glad to hear from you from the studio. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next week, same time, same station.